hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another flight here with Fly the Noob. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we have a flight planned with the Cessna Caravan Pro, this time the cargo version of it. As you can tell, I've got some head tracking running, not too much though, just enough to give us a bit of a realistic feel there as we fly along. So nothing too dramatic. Nothing too dramatic. But yeah, today we are at Reno International, and Reno Tahoe International is where we are at the moment. This is not a handcrafted airport from Microsoft Flight Sim. It's just a default airport with no handcrafted scenery, so it doesn't look the best in the world, but I think it does the job, yeah? So today I'll be trying out the Cargomaster version of the Cessna Caravan Pro. So it's a lovely little aircraft. I like the FedEx livery on the Caravan, it looks good. FedEx feeder network looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. Let me show you guys a little nav map. As a matter of fact, we'll look at that when we are tuning in our flight plan. Let's open up this door here, the cargo door. Okay, that looks really nice. Yeah, it does. It looks pretty nice here. Got different zones for the cargo. Not too bad at all. Bunch of instructions there. Not gonna pay any attention to it. Let's just close that up. Got cargo component, the cargo pod at the bottom of the aircraft that can also take some cargo there. Looks pretty good. Okay, anyway, that's a walk around mode. We don't have anything already available to us. So let's just jump inside for a second. Now, no matter how many times I fly this aircraft, it doesn't save the state I want it to be in, so that's kind of annoying. So if we come here, yeah, it's kind of annoying. Let's switch it to GNS 530 and 430. For some reason, the state save isn't really working as it should for me, and I don't know why exactly that is. Confirm that. Let's go towards that. Let's go towards that. Let's put that on. Let's put that on. That's enough for me today. Okay, I'm gonna go to the payload there. Let's fill up our aircraft pretty much today. Like so. We'll leave 2 empty slots there. We'll put up our fuel to 100 gallons on either side. I think that should be enough to take us to Lake Tahoe. We're going to be flying from Reno Tahoe International. We're going to fly over to Lake Tahoe, one of my favorite airports to land into because it's pretty interesting there. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's turn on our nav lights. Let's put our propeller to high. Okay, let's get up here, get the fuel selectors going, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty cool. And let's get our batteries on. Let's get our beacon lights on there. Let's get our fuel boost up. Avionics switch 1. Prop lever. Oh, come on. To idle there. That's good. Should be enough for us. Yes, it is. Ignition normal. Ignition on, sorry. And let's engage the starter there. There we go. Crossing 12. Let's put that to low idle. Let's line up our GPS. Stand by there. We'll do 10,000 here. Coming up on 50. 52 coming up. There we go. We'll put our starter motor off. Ignition to normal. Fuel boost to normal. Generator to reset. Standby power on. There you go. Okay, let's put our flaps down to position number 10. Brilliant. Our cabin at the moment is 54 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit. I think that's a fine temperature, to be honest. 13 degrees Celsius is pretty cold in there. Outside temperatures at 12, so we can turn on the heating for now. Let's put it to ventilate. We'll put this on high so we get our temperature up before takeoff. Okay, we're looking good in terms of engine. Let's have a look. Here we are. It's all good. Taxi lights can come on. There are no passengers to worry about today. No need for any pitot heats or anti-icing or windshield heating. None of that required. Inertial separator, we can put that on. We're going to enter that right there. Once all of that is done, let's go ahead and program our flight plan for today. For today, we're going to be... let's have a look at little nav map. Let's do that, shall we? Little nav map. There it is. Today's flight plan, we're going to depart from Reno, which is Reno Tahoe International, to Lake Tahoe. So, okay, this happens once in a while. Just hold on till this process is complete here. Then we're going to fly towards Kings, Yuku, Fabeg, Zesap, Wogok. We have an LDA approach straight into Lake Tahoe. We have an LDA approach, slightly offset, but it will take us towards the runway, which is good enough, and then from there we will land it visually. Okay, that is the whole point of the LDA approach. Okay, brilliant. Just waiting for that. There we go. We've got it coming to life. Let's go to our flight plan quickly. Let's go to the procedures. Let's select our departure here. Out of Reno, we are taking off from runway 17R directly, I believe, right? Yeah, we're just taking off directly. We're not really using any procedure today. So... What is going on? Which procedure are we using for departure? we don't want to use the procedure for departure though. So it's just runway 35 left, runway 17R. You know what? We'll just leave it like this then. We'll not put anything in there. So a departure is at KRNO then. We're just gonna type in KRNO. KR. So there are many ways of programming this thing. This is one of the ways I like to do it. It's quick, it's efficient. KRNO. There we go. KRNO Reno Tahoe is going to be our first one. And then we're going to go towards our approach straight forward. So let's go to our approach here. We don't have an arrival, just approach. So approach is going to be into KTVL. So let's use that. KPQRST KTVL. There we go. Okay, that's a little too much. KTVL, we're going to enter that. We're going to use LDA 18 vectors straight in. We're going to use it like this. Okay, we're going to activate that. Yes. So this is going to be our flight plan for today. Okay, there we go. That's the missed approach part, and that is the... Now we can take a look at the flight plan here. The last waypoint here is Wuguk, right here. And after that, it is just missed approach. 6668 feet and then above. Okay, so there we go. Our flight plan is pretty much done. We can go and do that. As a matter of fact, let's go back to our nav page there. As you can tell, it's not connected. The flight plans are not connected. So we need to fly directly towards Fabric. So we need to fly directly towards... I hate this thing, honestly. I hate this GNS whatever thing here. I really do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one more thing here for Reno, which is KRNO, one more time so that it can give us a direct connection here. I hate this nav system. I really do. Okay, so we'll put it like this. You know what I mean? We'll put it like this, and that'll help us kinda, I guess. I don't know. No, that flight plan doesn't make any sense. This is wrong. Okay. Yes. That's not the flight plan I want, man. Select departure, KTVL, KRNO, man. What I want is KRNO, but PQRST. Why isn't this thing working? And oh, okay. I don't want any procedure though. That's a problem. I don't want a procedure. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. No, clear that. Go back up. We need to select something that can let us use runway 17R. So let's just do that. There we go. We're gonna load this in so we have got something like this going on for us. Okay, good. So we got a nav page and it doesn't work. I don't know what's going on right now. I have no idea what's going on right now. Yeah, I did say that. Yes, I did. Load it. Okay, that's great. So what is the problem? We don't have an en route waypoint. Is that the problem? It's annoying, this thing, isn't it? It is annoying. Let me put Sevap as our en route waypoint. So let's try that. Can I put it right here? Nope. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it like this. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. This thing is always annoying, so let's just see what happens. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, I'm gonna go put away a little nav map there. We've got everything else ready pretty much for our takeoff here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and release our parking brake. Today I will be using the Xbox controller. And let's turn around here. Try that. Okay. There we go. Turn back around, kind of. Let's find that taxiway. We're gonna turn left. Ladies and gentlemen, looking good, huh? There we go. FedEx feeder. It's very good. We'll hold short for a bit. Because why not? Right. I'll hold short here. Let's put our strobe lights on, landing lights on. I'll release the parking brake as a matter of fact. Let's go towards idle right there. Gosh. Okay. Can put our transponder on there, put our weather radar on. So looking good. Inertial separators are on here as well. Can turn off our cabin heating for the moment. What is our cabin looking like at the moment? 23 degrees, perfect. Put all of this off. Oops, sorry. To turn in, we got some room today for takeoff, so I'm not really too bothered. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and put that there. Let's put that there. Okay, we're on takeoff. Oh, forgot to put the heading bug. That's good enough. Particularly heavy today, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a bit more torque as we climb out. Climbing out very slowly. Very heavy today though, so not too worried about it. Not too worried about it. 80 knots, maintaining it more or less. Let's give it off to the autopilot here. Let's put it on nav mode, see what happens. Nav mode isn't even engaging. Let's go to heading mode then for now. Yeah, nav mode is not going to engage. There you go. We can bring back our torque here. So the ITT drops. We can bring back our RPM, put the flaps up. RPM down. Let's put the inertial separators back in. Can turn back the heating. There we go. A little bit more throttle. There we go. That's a good one. Ah, that's good enough. Okay, landing lights can come off. What's the message? Right. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Good takeoff, more or less. Just need to fly till our approach via heading. then we can go ahead and turn on nav. This is one of the things I don't like about this. I really don't like about this navigation system. It's very annoying. Okay, so we can tune in the frequency in advance for our particular DME and for the LD approach, which is 108.90, which is automatically here, as a matter of fact. If we take a look here, they're already here. 108.90 as a VLOG, that's already here. So yeah, when we are close enough, we'll get that. We can turn our heading in so that we are more towards it, towards fabric, but right now we're looking good. 108.90. Okay, fine, that's good enough. And we're supposed to be at 9,500 at fabric. And we can come in at 9,000 feet basically. Okay, that's great. That is great. Just 1,000 feet of altitude to lose before we come in for our approach. That's great. Let's turn our aircraft towards fabric. Alright, let's do that. Go, more or less, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more right there. To turn us towards the fabric. There you go. Flying in beautifully. Great. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our cinematic views for today. Okay, we need to watch our ITT here, so I'm just gonna bring back the throttle just a little bit, not a lot. Should help us. Okay, there we go. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, flying over the Reno, Lake Tahoe region. We're about to come up on Lake Tahoe very, very soon here. Right now, Washoe Lake is what we are seeing ahead of us. Okay, there we go. That is the Washoe Lake. Is that how you say that name? Washoe Lake? Got Carson City dead ahead of us, but we can't see it as we fly along towards Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe. Very beautiful here. Oh, we don't have any. Obviously, we're in the cargo variant, I forgot. We don't have any window views per se. There we go. Pretty cool, if you ask me. Pretty cool. Alrighty. World on time, FedEx. Obviously, it's not a real life flight. I don't think it is. It's just something that I decided to cook up by myself so that we can enjoy this flight right here. The aircraft doesn't look particularly happy climbing along like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at what's going on in the cockpit, just so we stay on top of things and we don't want any surprises. So let's see what's going on in the cockpit here. Surprisingly fine. There you go. ITTs are fairly high. Our speed is okay. We're coming up on 8,000 something feet. We should go up till 10,000 so we can clear the mountains that we're seeing ahead of us. Right there. So let's see how that looks like when we actually reach that area. This is a high altitude area in general, so we gotta be careful here. We've got an aircraft up ahead of us. That's interesting. Are you gonna make that? Let's see if we're gonna make that. Speed is fine, ITG is fine, I think. Let's head back into the flight here, just to see if we can actually make that. This flight was supposed to be at nighttime, by the way, but it ended up being during daytime. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, we can always change the weather and time when we reach Lake Tahoe. We can do a nighttime flight, because why not, right? We can switch it over to nighttime when we reach Lake Tahoe. That's cool. That is just fine. Set course to 174. No, thank you. Okay, what is the course of landing at the LDA? It's 175. As a matter of fact, they might be right. Let's go ahead and try that. 175, right? So 60, 75. There you go. 175 right there. We'll leave it there. There's our 1,000 feet within our target altitude of 10,000. There's Lake Tahoe dead ahead of us. We're not that far away at all now. There's Lake Tahoe. Well, if we can see it. We can barely see it. There is Lake Tahoe right there. Absolutely sublime. There is Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe. Does this LDA have a glide slope approach? It doesn't. It just has a... No, there's no glide slope. It's just straight up localizer, but displaced localizer. Okay, we still got 500 feet, and that should be plenty clearance for us to clear that mountain right there. Yep, we got plenty of clearance here. Nothing to worry about. Okay, we're coming up on our cruising altitude of 10,000. Let's head back into the flight here for a second. Let's go down here. Let's go to our engine, have a look at the condition. It's 100%, but we're flying on the edge here, so I want to reduce the torque there so we can have our ITT just drop ever so slightly, just to keep our engines, you know, good as new. Still quite high there. Got headwind. Luckily it's a very short flight, so there we go. Should take care of temperatures right there. We're flying along quite happily. We're almost at our LDA approach anyway. It's not that far away. Mike Coffee, I like the 2020 version now, practicing on backing up. What do you mean backing up, Mike Coffee? And welcome to the stream, by the way. What do you mean by backing up? Okay, so we've got our DME here at 16.4 nautical miles, which is plenty. Let's reduce the range on that so we got a clearer idea of what we're trying to do here. There we go. There's Fabric, where we're supposed to be at around 9,500 feet. We're already at 10,000. As a matter of fact, we can go ahead and select 9,500 and we can go down here. There you go, just like that. Just like that. 2020. 2020. Okay, we're still on heading mode here. We can go to nav mode, honestly. And soon we should switch to GPS there so we can get that quickly. Let's see if that catches. Will that catch? Backing up like a car out of a parking lot. Seeing the float plane pilot's backing out of a dock. Probably not supposed to. Ah, yes, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. No, it makes sense to back out of a dock, so. Makes sense. Our nav has just been caught, if I'm not completely mistaken. right? It is hard on the engine, that is correct, to use reverse thrust to move. It's pretty, but it's not, it's okay though. It's okay, you do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? I think I can see the runway up ahead. Full beta, not reverse. Well, it is, reverse is technically full beta anyway, right? Yeah, it is. Full beta is reverse anyway. Okay, so we got nav mode engaged and it seems to be working for us. Yeah, I did some messing around with the amphibian edition myself, and quite frankly, I've been having lots of fun with it. So that's a stream that's coming up next after this one. So we're coming up on Fabric here, not a long distance to go, and what we want to do here is let's go and see if our localizer can be caught, right? Let's just go to nav here, go to our V-lock. There you go. We don't have an approach. Yeah, there's no approach available to us, obviously, because it's just an LDA. All right, so let's descend our aircraft slowly down towards about 5,000 feet. Let's start descending at about 600 feet per minute. So we're supposed to be at around 6,000 if I'm not wrong. Go to altitude, we're supposed to be around 6,000. So let's descend. There we go. 24 float physics is better. Yeah, the physics is better for 2024, definitely. So there's our runway. We can already see it, and this is where the LDA is taking us. We'll play along for a bit until we're in line with the runway. Got 8 nautical miles for it, so we're okay. We are okay. Oh, this is to switch the mode. My bad. I did that again. Press that. 24 float. I had a little fly around in the what is it called, Friday Harbor, I think, that region, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's fun. You can actually, in Microsoft Flight Sim, you can, if you find a nice shallow coastline, you can actually take the float plane onto the land. You can actually drop the gear and transition onto the land if you want to do that. I have fun doing it, and it doesn't seem to crash the aircraft. Probably not something that you do in real life, but it is possible technically, right? So I like doing that. I really do. So we're heading down at 600 feet per minute manually, because there's no glide slope available. Obviously, this is it's a completely different thing. It's an LDA. So yeah, we are currently coming down here. In a little bit, we should be able to take manual control and fly this aircraft by ourselves. As a matter of fact, I can do that now. Okay, inertial separators. Let's cut down on throttles here, because I have not been paying attention to that at all. Let's cut it down completely. They did go on to land with those flying boats. Oh, that's great then. Let's disconnect our autopilot here. Let's put on our landing lights here. Put RPM to max. Get rid of that for now. That should be good enough for our landing here today, if we can control how fast we're coming in. Gonna use this time to put in the flaps, which I shouldn't have done, quite frankly. Okay. There we go. Running sky dolly, everybody. Okay, let's see how this goes. I don't have high hopes for this landing, because as you know, there are a bunch of trees in our way at Lake Tahoe. That is an issue with the scenery, and I believe there's a fix available for it. I need to put that in though. So we have a little bit of head movement going on for today's flight. Hopefully that gives a more immersive experience. I decided to do that. I like doing this once in a while, just to give it a bit more of, you know. So we got that big old tree in our way there. Okay, let's get some torque available to us, and there we go. I need to avoid that tree. That is the biggest problem. That is the biggest problem. And we are heavy. We are very heavy today, so let me open up the throttles because I need it before it's too late. I'll open up the throttles a little bit more there. We gotta bypass that big old tree in our way, or we can just shift to the side, can't we? Yeah, we can just shift to the side. Let's just go through the side here. There we go. Cut throttle. We'll just shift through the side there, and then we'll come in like so. There we go. And there we go. Cut the throttle. Coming in high. Coming in very high. We'll be okay. Come on. There you go. Welcome to Lake Tahoe, ladies and gentlemen. Flaps up. Yeah, that was a fun one, wasn't it? That was a fun one. Let's put our flaps up there. Okay. Put that off, put that off, put that off. There we go. Let's put that back on so people don't start complaining too much. So put that back forward up. There we go. Let's ventilate ourselves quickly. Alright, start moving, Mr. Aircraft. No, still not moving. There we go. Alright, we'll take a look at our landing replay. I don't know why we're not moving yet. There we go, we're moving now. We are moving now. I can't see where the throttle's at because of the reflection. Okay, now I can. Alright, good. Oh, look at that. Look what's on the other side. There's a Cessna Caravan straight ahead of us. Isn't that nice? Cessna Caravan straight ahead of us. What we'll do is we'll go off to the right here. Go off to the right. This can come to altitude. This can come to off or on standby. We'll park ourselves somewhere here for the time being. Let's put it on. Yeah, we'll park ourselves. Where can we park ourselves, quite frankly? I'm not entirely sure. We'll take any of these right here. We can just park somewhere here. What the hell? We can bring our aircraft in somewhere right here and we'll park it. We'll take a look at Lake Tahoe before we proceed and get ourselves out towards I'm actually going to do one more flight today, so this was a very short flight. We could do a return trip if we wanted to, but you know, I think we can fly over. Yeah, we can do a return trip because why not? Why not? Very bad parking right there, but ignore that. Good. Excellent. Let's put our condition lever to idle there. Alright, welcome to Lake Tahoe. Let's go ahead and take a look at that landing. We'll take a look at that landing before we proceed here. Alright, let's try that. The world on time, you say? Is that right, FedEx? Is that right? Okay. Seems to work better than the SimWorks Studio Kodiak. Is that right? I've heard good stuff about the Kodiak, but haven't been able to get my hands on it. Alright. There are a few prominent flight simmers who fly that. Pretty cool though, the Kodiak. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our landing replay. Let's see if it works. Mr. Sky Dolly. Yep, today we have Sky Dolly. We have Sky Dolly working for us. So let's go back to our landing. Spend some time here though, waiting. Okay. We'll take it from here. We shall take it from here. Yeah, we'll take it from here first, yeah? Let's try landing it in Lake Tahoe. You know what? Let's go to the other side. There we go, that's much better. We'll view it from here so we can see how we bypass the trees and everything. So how exactly it went. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, landing replay time. Alrighty, that was not too bad at all. That was not too bad, right? Let's say it was. There you go. Let's try another view here. Perhaps from the front. Let's try that from the front. Lake Tahoe, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, that's a good one. Okay, not too bad. We'll have one more landing replay, maybe two. And after that we need to go ahead and see what we can do, right? We can try this view. Alrighty, that was not too bad. That was not too bad. It's a good landing. Okay, so we've made it into Lake Tahoe from Reno. Now that begs the question, what should we go do from here? We can fly on to San Francisco International if you wanna. And we can do that during the night. Right, we can do that during the night. Just to make things a little bit more interesting. We could do it at night time. Yeah, so we could change the time and make it nighttime. Shall we do that? Or we can fly back to Reno. We can fly back to Reno. Okay, so let's actually, should we shut down our aircraft? If we shut down our aircraft, we're gonna have an issue in starting it up again, but it's still gonna be hot. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna leave that engine running. We're gonna open up the cargo door for a second. There you go. We can unload all of this stuff. Make it all empty. There you go. All empty. Alright. So fuel consumption here. Okay, fuel is interesting. We're looking like this on fuel. We used only... we haven't used a lot of fuel, if I'm being honest with you. 100 gallons, 100 gallons. You can do 100 gallons on both tanks. We could fill up just this much. You know what? Yeah, we could fill up just that much. We can close up the cargo door as well. There you go. Okay. Does the door warning open? Yeah, it does. Okay. Done. Alright. So we could now fly on from Lake Tahoe all the way to San Francisco International KSFO. We could do that. That's going to take us about an hour and a half to make that happen, isn't it? And we can do that at nighttime. We can do that at nighttime. If we take a look at Lake Tahoe, takeoff is possible from both sides, pretty much. Yeah. It is possible from both sides. Okay, great. So, let's go and make our time at night, perhaps. Let's keep things a little interesting here. We'll go at 4:40. How about that? Let's do 4:40. Yeah, let's do 4:40. Oh, we need some flashlights there. Let's put that up, put that up, put that up, put that up. Put that up. We don't need that though. We don't need that either. There we go. Ooh, that's a little too much if you ask me. There we go. Just, yeah, that's a little too much. Just a little bit is good. There we go. That's much better. Got this on max. Yep, there we go. Good. Excellent. We could now fly back to Reno. Or we could go to San Francisco. Those are our two options. Those are our two options. Fly back to Reno or fly to San Francisco. You know what? Let's try back to Reno. Let's try back to Reno now. To do that, let's come down here. Let's go to our departure. Now, for departure, we are going out of KTVL KTVL. Okay, KTVL right here. We can use that departure. We can use runway 36 and we can use that. We can load that. There you go. There's our departure. out of KTVL. For arrival, let's go to KRNO, which is Reno, right? So let's do that. KRNO, right here. Now, our arrival procedure, I don't know which one to choose. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Runway. Let's do 35 right. Yeah, let's do 35 right. Let's enter that. So there you go. Let's see. Do we need en route waypoints? Our approach is like this. What? What kind of approach is that? No, we've got the wrong thing again. Okay. Arrival KRNO, departure KTVL, approach KTVL. No, got the wrong thing tuned in. For approach, we need the Reno stuff. So let's go KRNO. Come on. Where's the Reno stuff? Okay, R here. KR and this thing is so annoying. I hate this system, the scrolling system. KRNO, gotta put that in. ILS 35 right, I believe. Oh, come on, we don't have an ILS on the one thing that I selected. You know what, let's do 35 left. We'll change it. Let's do 35 left. Vectors activated. Yes, I get it. Let's have a look at our flight plan. Departure Richie 7. That's fine. Approach ILS 35 left. We'll leave it like this. Let's have a look at the flight plan. What is going on? Okay, it doesn't show me the departure procedure. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I'm genuinely lost. If I say load, yes. So, but why doesn't it show on the flight plan? I have no idea. Yeah, it doesn't show on the flight plan. I don't really care about it. I really hate this system. I do. I just do. So we're just gonna fly in towards our runway 35 left, and hopefully that will be good enough for us to tune in to the ILS system for runway 35 left. And that's all we're gonna do into Reno. So there you go. Let's just fly on towards Reno, straightforward there. Okay, so we're just gonna take off out of Lake Tahoe, straight out. Not really gonna bother. So that's done. That is ready. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking great. Strobe lights can come off, by the way. Okay, I think we're ready to taxi on already. So let's just do that. Let's just do that and get on out of here. So our heading is roughly in this direction. Okay. Release parking brake, ladies and gentlemen. Altitude is gonna go up to 10,000 feet because we need that. There we go. There is the taxiway right here. Let's head on out of here. What is going on? I have stuck rudder. I have a stuck rudder. Look at that. What is it doing? Okay, so it happens to me sometimes when I use an Xbox controller. I get a rudder that's stuck. Oh, come on. Why is it stuck? Okay, there we go. Now it's stuck the other way. Oh, gosh. Yep, my rudder is stuck. I can't control it. Oh, this is so annoying. I have no idea what's happening right now with my rudder. What is going on with my rudder? It's stuck. Is this the rudder or the nose wheel tiller? What's going on right now? Oh, come on. Okay, stop. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, my rudder is acting stuck because it's the Xbox controller right now that's doing this. See that? Yeah, my rudder is stuck. This is not a 2024 problem though, Mr. Mike Coffee. This is not a 2024 problem. This is my controller issue. My Xbox controller causes rudders to get stuck for some reason. If I switch to my throttle quadrant, there you go. See that? If I switch to my throttle quadrant, it's perfectly fine. It's just my Xbox controller does that sometimes. I don't understand why it does, but it does. If I use my throttle control quadrant, we have no issues, but yeah. Something that sucks about it, but today I'm flying using the Xbox controller. So kind of don't want to take out the throttle at the moment. 2024 does have issues, but they've ironed out a lot of it, if I'm being honest. I hated this thing at first when it came out. I still have my 2020 with me I haven't even uninstalled it yet, but I genuinely believe the time to uninstall 2020 is coming. Like, one of my last flies are coming up, I'm not even joking. And I'm a huge fan of 2020, I like 2020. But they've fixed 2024 up to a point where it's definitely worth getting 2024 now. There's a lot more functionality in it. It's really beginning to look much better than when they first released it. But anyway, let's go ahead, set our heading here. Let's get on out of here somehow. Let's put our flaps down to position 10. That can go on, which it should have. Inertial separators there. We'll turn that off for the time being. Let's put that down there. Let's take a look at our cabin. Our cabin is perfectly fine for today. Our engine is good. Alrighty. All of this is already looking good. All the anti-icing and pitot heat, all that stuff is off there. We can turn this on. Let's go to on that, and we are ready to take off, apart from one tiny thing, which is a big deal as a matter of fact. Okay, releasing parking brake. Going towards 50% power, and then we're gonna push it towards up there. There we go. Let's see what kind of torque we get with that power setting. Okay, let's open up the torque a little bit more there. Yeah, that's all we need really, but I'll give it a bit more just for takeoff. There we go. I need to control it a little bit. We are heavy, so I want a bit more speed before I take off though, but I'm struggling to gain speed. Oh, come on, give me a bit more speed here. Wait, what has just happened? Aborted takeoff. Aborted takeoff, ladies and gentlemen. Our thrust just dropped. Did I accidentally put the throttle down? I think I did, didn't I? Well, we can always take off from the other direction. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It does matter, as a matter of fact. I would strictly prefer to take off from this runway direction, so let's just go ahead and do that. Oh no, the stuck rudder again. Yeah, let's head back to the end of the runway and try this again. What is our engine condition? I wanna take a look at the engine conditions. Engine condition is good. Yeah, engine condition is good. So it's not the engine issue. I think inadvertently the throttle got knocked down there. Interesting. Okay, so let's begin our second flight of the day. It started off with a rejected takeoff, but I think we'll be okay. There we go. We'll just start the whole way to the end. Use the entire runway available for takeoff. Why not, right? Why not? I don't see why not. Let's give it enough to slow us down there. There we go. Yep. Ignore all the shaking there. That's my abrupt braking. Let's try that again, shall we? 50%. Oh god. 50. No. The controller is annoying me now. Okay, let's go to the desired power here. Release that parking brake. Let's have a look. Torque. We gotta be careful with the torque. Opening up the gates. Yeah, we have to takeoff torque pretty much. There we go. Yeah, I've pulled up too soon. Yep, I've pulled up too soon. This is not gonna be good. We need some... Oh, this is not good. Come on. Come on. Why are we struggling with speed today? We're too heavy and too high of an altitude to do this today, honestly. Yep, there goes. I'm gonna put my flap up here. I need that extra speed. Gotta watch my temperatures at the same time. Gotta watch the RPM at the same time. That is not good. Turn on the autopilot there, go to heading mode. Go up at 600 at least. Yeah, we got too much torque. I think our engine condition is gonna be a little degraded now. Oh, so we're still at 100%. Okay, that's good. Okay, interesting. That was way too much. It's a high altitude takeoff. Plus the trees in the way. At least we're out. At least we are out of Lake Tahoe. There we go. We'll continue in this direction until we reach somewhere where we can capture our glide slope for Reno. We're gonna tune that in. Let's go in slightly there, just so we are more in line with that. There we go. Yeah, right here. So want to be in line with that a little bit. Leave it like this. That can go in. We can get our cabin heat back on there. Our ITT is high again. Although, may bring down our torque a little bit more. Take a look at the engine conditions. Look at that. Exhaust is running very, very hot. It's on the line. drop our torque. We need to be careful here. We need to be really careful here. This is very tricky. We got mountains coming up ahead of us, so we need to have a certain amount of altitude, which is why we're going up steeper than we actually can manage to. Visuals, you know what, let me get rid of these landing lights. That'll help us see better. We'll put the recognition lights on, but... Okay, we got DME right now. Okay, that's DME to Lake Tahoe. Let's tune in to our Reno frequency for the ILS, which is 109.90, which is right here. We can switch it like this. DME should be available momentarily for this one. Let's have a look. 109.90. Yeah, there we go. So let's see how it goes. 109.90, that's correct. Yeah, DME should be available momentarily for this message. Set course to 347. What is our 347? That's correct. 347 is correct. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, altitude coming up. Thank goodness for that. So we can also go ahead and bring back my torque a little bit more. 347. That is right here. Yeah. 340. 350 should be here. 347 should be somewhere in the middle right here. Yeah, that somewhere there should be 347. But for now, this is what we can do. Do we have a DME available yet? For 109.90? No, we don't. We don't have a DME available yet. Okay, that's fine. Let's see, how far out? We're still about 28 nautical miles out, more or less. So DME should show up, but it's not. There we go. DME showing up right there. 27.5 nautical miles away. ITT not looking the best, but we have flattened out on our climb, so we can go ahead and reduce that torque. Cut our throttle just enough to get that ITT back under control. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing well. Okay. As we fly along back towards Reno. Towards Reno International, that is. We could fly instead to Reno Stead, where they have the air show or something like that. We could fly back there, but I don't think it's a good idea to, so I'm gonna continue here for the time being at least. So yeah, looking good. Take a look in this side. Very nice. That is Carson City that we are seeing right now. Off to our right is Carson City. There is an airport there as well we could land at if things get hairy in Reno. Or we could fly on to Reno Stead instead. No, we'll take Reno International, I believe. Carson City, ladies and gentlemen. Lake Tahoe off to our left. You can already have visuals of the runway, to be quite frank with you. Yep, we can already see the runways in the distance. We can see the runway. That is Reno Tahoe International. Oh yeah, pretty cool here. There's Carson City Airport as well. We also have visuals on that too. Carson Airport, KCXP right there, I believe, as well. Yeah, that is Carson. Yeah, that is Carson. There's another one nearby as well. So I don't know. Oh, whoa! Oh no! What is going on with our torque? How did that switch back to idle here? That's crazy. How did this happen? Let's get back into stream flight. I don't know. I think it's the controls messing up today. It's definitely, there's nothing wrong with the aircraft. It's the controls messing up for sure. Yeah, we have issues. We have issues. Ladies and gentlemen, taking manual control, my aircraft. Yeah, aircraft tried its best to maintain that, huh? Okay. Let's just fly this thing in manually for the time being. And we'll switch to VLOC mode. Okay, it's already on VLOC mode. There we go. Now we should be okay here. Let's try switch to autopilot. Let's try hold this altitude here. And to hold the altitude, where are you going? Okay. Let's descend that. Yeah, there's something wrong with the controls today. I don't know what it is. The Xbox controller is not cooperating with me today. Cutting back there. Have we damaged our engine in doing all of this? Going down to 8,000 feet. Going down to 8,000 feet here. Okay. As a matter of fact, I like to hold altitude, if I'm being honest. I'll hold that altitude. I'll bring that RPM down. Just a little, not too much. That's enough. And yeah, let's try that. Something was wrong right there. I don't know what happened, but our throttle just slammed all the way backward. I don't know what it was. But yeah. Okay, well, we can already see the runway pretty much. So can put it on heading mode. And we can arm the nav right here. Just to get ready for it, you know, as it comes along. So we're basically just flying now to intercept our ILS, at least the localizer and the glide slope. Is that the glide slope coming to life already? Don't tell me. There's no way. That cannot be the glide slope that we're talking about. No, it cannot. It cannot be, so I'm confused here. Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's continue flying in first of all. And we'll see. Okay. Then we will see whether we're able to capture the localizer and the glide slope from here. 13.9, 13.8, and that is not the glide slope we're supposed to be seeing here. What does this warning mean? Waypoint? No. Okay, there we go. We could switch to GPS and switch to nav. That will get us in here just like that, right? There we go. There we go, that's better. At least we've caught that nice and easy. Now we just need to descend down towards maybe 5,000 feet. Let's begin that descent right there. 10 nautical miles, we'll try and capture the localizer and the glide slope. We'll try that in about 10 nautical miles. 347, it's at 350 right now. 347 is somewhere here. Okay. We'll fly the current heading. And let's switch that to VLOC. Let's switch that to nav. And let's turn on approach. Yep, there we go. We got approach on. But we are way too high. So we need to descend, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, we're way too high. I've misjudged this very badly, haven't I? Way too high. Let's cut our throttle completely. So only hope of capturing the actual glide slope, if that's even... It's not necessary today, but you know. We already have the localizer, we can see the runway crystal clear, but I just want to see if we can. Come on, get us the glide slope. There's the glide slope. I should have listened to it. Okay. Inertial separators, we should have that open here, we should have that off. Have that off. Have this on max, why not? Put that on. Ready for landing pretty much. Apart from flaps. Yeah, we're not gonna get that glide slope, are we? No, we are not. We're not getting that glide slope. It's a shame. What engine condition are we still on? Whoa. I know what happened. I think I've been pressing circuit breakers. Yup, haven't I? I've been pressing circuit breakers. Oh, come on. Okay, glide slope is coming up quickly. We might just... Yeah, we'll capture it now. There we go. We've got the glide slope. Unfortunately, it's a little late for that. Our speed is dropping, which is fantastic. Let's put our flaps down, help the speed drop a little bit. That's a little early, but that's okay. Let's get Sky Dolly running here. Coming up on 500 feet on radar. Altimeter there. Why is our radar altimeter not working? Okay, it's... Okay, I think we're ready to land now, ladies and gentlemen. We are pretty much ready to land the way it looks. Uh-oh, uh-oh. We need power. We need power. There we go. Give it power. I'm gonna take it off autopilot now. My aircraft. There we go. Let's try and land it. Yeah, coming in high. I cannot give you more power. Steep there, but we'll be okay. Got plenty of runway anyway, so who cares? Whoa, 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 easy. Good lord. Good lord. That was not a good landing at all. We're not going to use the reverse thrust today. We got plenty of room, so. That was not good. That was not good at all. That landing was not good at all. Oh no. I think we had a lot of control issues today. We did. We definitely did. But that landing was unnecessarily difficult. I made my own life hard there for no reason. I'll cross that runway, get into that taxiway right there, put our flaps up. Don't need those strobe lights, nor those landing lights. But we can taxi in over here. There we go. My Xbox controller today is berserk. think it's my first time live streaming on the Cessna Caravan Pro with the Xbox controller. And that, oh, look at that. Typical Microsoft Flight Simulator default scenery. We got a taxi light right in the middle of the taxiway. Look, would you believe that? Okay, I'm just gonna turn in here. Park ourselves in here. Okay. Let's see how that landing went, but that landing was terrible. I'm not gonna lie, that landing was terrible. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. Can make all the excuses I want, but that landing was pretty bad. There we go. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take a look at that landing replay before I do anything else with this particular aircraft. I'm just gonna go ahead and let's first check our engine condition here. Well, still on 100%. Would you believe that? Got some sort of FODs. A good thing we had our initial inertial separator ready there, but 7%. But we managed to negate that. That's excellent. We're getting more and more flights with 100% engine condition at the end, which is great. But doesn't make up for that terrible landing. It doesn't. So let's go ahead and take a look at how bad that really was. Yeah, let's do that. Sky dolly. When I have an embarrassing landing, you'll always work, won't you? Won't you, little sky dolly? At times when I have a great landing and sky dolly is like, whoop, no, I did not get that. Did not catch that. I'm like, hey. Then when you have a terrible landing, it's like, hey, I caught that. I saw you. Little punk. Alright. Let's go ahead and take a look at this landing, shall we? That's a lovely aircraft. It looks so good, man. Damn, flight sim looks good. Okay, let's play. Let's play. Whoa. Yeah. I think I have the option for instant better on touchdown enabled. I know I do. That's probably another reason why we had such a horrible landing. Because the second we touched down, that thing enabled. So let's have a look at that again. Check it out. We're coming in. We touch down and it goes to better. Yep, there you go. That kind of threw me off completely. Alright. Let's take one more look at that. Let's take one more look at that landing. Not a landing I'm particularly proud of. Yep. Alrighty. That's not good. Nonetheless, we have made it back into Reno. Let's go ahead and fast forward this. to where we left it in the parking. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, I'm gonna disable that option from next flight, instant beta on touchdown. That's not a good option to have, but yeah. This one is the one I'm talking about. Options. This needs to be off. It's not good. It is not good for us. Okay. Nonetheless, let's go ahead, bring this back to idle right there. Let's go ahead and feather this. Inertial separators in, flaps up fully. There we go. That light off right there. This can come to off. This is already off, that's great. We can release this. Let's get some fresh air in here. There we go. Ram air opened a little bit. And we'll open up the doors after. Who cares? Okay, let's go. Let's put this to feather. Let's bring this thing down. There we go. Oh, I want the flaps back up. Okay, there we go. That is done. Beacon lights off. Taxi lights off. Let's put avionics, both of them to off. Let's put our fuel boost to off. Strip that. Let's switch that off. Great. I believe that's it. Oh, hold on. Where's our battery? We need to turn this off as well. There we go. And then up here we got our fuel selectors. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. If we take a look at our tablet, yep, that looks good. There you go. We can open up the cargo door there. We can put back our wheel chocks and rudder lock, pitot covers. Why not? Oh, we want that there. Reset, please. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. It was pretty fun flying this thing. We had lots of issues along the way, mostly because of my Xbox controller, really. Nothing to do with the sim or the aircraft. Mostly my own shenanigans. Great to hear that, My Coffee. Thank you once again for tuning into the live stream. I appreciate it very, very much. So here we are at the end of today's live stream. We've flown the Cargomaster Caravan. The only variant that we haven't flown yet is the amphibian one, which I am going to be flying in the next live stream. So yeah, thank you once again for watching, and thank you very much, especially to My Coffee, for tuning in, and for everybody who's watching. I shall catch you guys in the next live stream. Go ahead and check out my tutorial that I've actually released for the Cessna for the full flight. It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty fun flight. I don't know about the tutorial. You guys can be the judge of that. But yeah, thank you so much. And I shall catch you guys in the next one. Do the liking, the subscribing, and all that good stuff that you can do on YouTube. Help out the channel. Until next time, have a good day and bye-bye.